As expected, Indian economy registered one of its worst decline in the post-independence period. The Q1 of this financial year 2021, that means from April to June, India's GDP has fallen by 23.9%. It's certainly whopping figure, even assuming that we were expecting such a kind of a decline due to COVID-19 induced lockdowns. So this nearly 24% decline in GDP was evident across all sectors barring agriculture. Of course, agriculture recorded a positive growth rate of 3.4%, little better than the little better than the quarter a year ago. But certainly the agricultural growth will not push the GDP to a great extent precisely because the share of agriculture in the overall GDP has been sharply falling since independence. So not just, if you look at the different sectors of the economy, private consumption expenditure accounts for nearly 60% of GDP. But this aspect, the private consumption expenditure declined by 26.7%, which means that the economy has been witnessing a massive demand compression. Obviously, it is expected because there was a lockdown. So there were huge job losses, wage cuts, and the people were fighting for survival, and you can't expect them to spend on discretionary purchases. But even the high value purchases have also come down. What does it reveal? Not just the poor and the middle class, even the super rich and the super rich of India were hesitating to spend during this period. So the construction sector suffered the most, where it has shrunk by 50%. Construction is very important because it provides the major source of jobs for the migrant labor coming from the rural areas and even from the interstate migrant labor also. So construction is a highly employment intensive sector and it has declined by 50%. Trade, the travel, broadcasting, hotels, this sector has declined by 47%. So obviously the travel industry, hospitality industry are the most hit. So the investment was also coming down. Obviously when there is no demand, however maybe the level of incentives, the investment will not pick up. This is what we have been telling when government in the name of Atmanirbhar Bharat announced several packages which had a lot of incentives for investors. We have been maintaining that any number of incentives for the investors will not boost investment unless demand is revived. Precisely this has happened in the Q1 of 2021 as per the data released by the National Statistical Office of the Government of India. So the gross fixed capital formation, which captures the investor's mood, has shrunk by 47%, which means investment will not flow into the economy unless demand is revived, unless the demand compression is stopped. But unfortunately, the government continues to believe in incentivizing the investors rather than spurring demand through directly putting money into the hands of the people, as economists like Abjad Banerjee, Amartya Sen, Raghuram Rajan have recommended. So even the International Monetary Fund has been recommending. I've seen the talk by Geeta Gopinath, the chief economist of IMF, which was also recommending the same thing, putting money into the hands of the people. So this, and even the exports have also fallen by 20%. Obviously, there is no global demand also. There is a very negative global economic trends, signals. So India can't, this shows exports have declined by 20%, private consumption expenditure declined by nearly 27%. What does it mean? Indian industry is not in a position to sell domestically or sell internationally. Then what is the use of giving more and more incentives, tax interest discounts, and several other incentives. Will it work really? When there is nobody to buy in India or abroad, why will India accept absorb these incentives and produce something? So this is the biggest challenge. Unfortunately, the government expenditure has only grown up by around 16%. Well, it has contributed to at least preventing a further decline in the growth in the GDP numbers, but government expenditure is just 16%. In normal year also, you will have at least some amount of expansion in the government expenditure. So, but despite COVID-19 induced economic crisis, despite all economists from left to right recommending massive government push, massive fiscal push by the government in the form of public investment, in the form of cash transfers to people, the the reality seems to be otherwise. There's not much significant expansion, fiscal expansion by the government, and that's the only way to revive the growth, because the growth can only be revived by reviving the demand. So how do we create demand? Unless the people have money in their hands, you can't create the demand. When will the people have the money in the hands? When they have jobs, when they have wages, they will have money in the hands. Today, industry is not in a position to produce because there is no demand. So when there is no production, there will not be any jobs. When there are no jobs, there will not be any incomes. When there are no incomes, there will not be any demand. So this is simple economics. Unfortunately, government is unable to understand this. We really do not know what will be the overall economic slowdown or economic growth decline in the entire financial year. We have only the data for the first quarter. Several estimates are already coming in. The rating agency ICRA estimated that the India's growth rate in India GDP will grow by minus 6.4% in the year 2021, and State Bank of India estimated it at 6.8%. So the another rating agent, the CARE rating agency estimated it as minus 6.4%. SBI estimated it minus 6.8%, and ICRA estimated it by minus 9.5%. In fact, nobody estimated even 0% growth rate or even positive growth rate. So it is an obvious conclusion by every estimate that India will be in a negative growth trajectory. But how steep, we really don't know, because informal sector is not well captured in any GDP numbers. In fact, the lockdowns and the subsequent so-called unlock have crippled the informal sector more. So if we factor in the erosion of incomes and demand in the informal sector, certain economists peg this decline to be not in the tune of 40% also, not 24%. So we really do not know, and the COVID-19 cases are still rising. We are no way nearer to the peaking the curve. So we really don't know when will India get the respite from the coronavirus. And experience of several countries reveal that there are even second wave of infections. So we do not know how long this disruption will continue. So no one can give an accurate estimate on the extent of disruption in the economic activity due to coronavirus. So we'll have to wait and see. But one thing is sure, this will be one of the worst financial years in the history of India. Well, India registered negative growth rates at least 4 times as far as I remember. First time in 1957-58, second time in 65-66, third time in 72-73, and fourth time in 79-80. So 79-80 was the steep decline with around 5.2%. So all the estimates reveal that India will see the first declines in the history of independent in the history of India. This will be the worst decline since independence. So we should be prepared for that. This can only be mitigated. The suffering, the economic suffering due to coronavirus can only be mitigated by massive public investment. So the government should give up its fiscal conservatism. In fact, another thing also we need to understand. Well, the present economic crisis is not an act of God alone. The finance minister wants us to believe that is an act of God. But it is not an act of God alone. Why am I telling this is not the first time the growth is decelerating. India's economic growth has been decelerating for the last 8 quarters. What does it mean? So even since demonetization and the faulty implementation of GST, Indian economy has been shrinking. The GDP is declining. Well, the act of God has accentuated the problem. So, but India's economic crisis is not just an act of God, it is also act of government in the form of demonetization and in the form of hasty implementation of GST. So unless this economic policy trajectory is reversed, so there cannot be any respite for Indian economy.